Well, each and every year there's this new trends where you start your resolutions, you write down your goals, your plans, your aesthetics, and all of those things. But I'm not here to tell you to stop following these trends. If it's going to help you, then fine. And if you think these are things that fit into your style, your goals, whatever you want to do, then that is absolutely fine. But in the case where you're going out of your way to fit into these trends, cram yourself, squeeze yourself into a box that you don't fit in, that's an absolute no-no. Have you heard about fake it till you make it? Well, this is not exactly in line with what I'm about to say, but if you need a world epidemic in order to get things done, in order to set the ball rolling for yourself, and you need a trend in order to do that, then that is fine. That is okay. You can move on with that. Don't try to follow things that you're not interested in. You don't even want to waste any time on. If you have to keep failing to be the strongest and finally make it for yourself, then do that. Live your own trend. The encircling of what is supposed to be the norm and what is not supposed to be the norm can be very much overbearing. Like the skincare you should buy, like your fitness journey, your morning routine or your evening routine should be as perfect as someone else's morning routine. But the case is that most of these morning routines that we are seeing online are just usually advertisements for many things, and it could be home appliances, it could be skincare, it could be anything, and then we are overbearing ourselves with trying to fit in these spaces and trying to make these things our own and make it our lives. So these days I see that Korean skincare is such a trend and people are going out of their ways to get Korean skincare, and even though most of them do not need them or cannot afford them, they're trying everything they could in order to get them. No hate to Korean skincare. All of my eye creams, or most of my eye creams, because for some reason I own more eye creams than any other skincare product, but most of my eye creams are Korean skincare eye creams, and I love them. But I do have other Korean skincare items that I need on my list that I haven't yet purchased them, because mostly it's not in my region, and also secondly because some of them or most of them are actually very expensive. Now I am not overbearing myself or pressuring myself in order to strictly get them so that I can post them online and and make people think that I am actually trendy. I am fine with the skincare that I have, and it works fine for my skin. That is the mindset of living in your own trend. When Stanley Cups came, I saw everybody having Stanley Cups, going to the gym with them, going to the office with them, and to the extent that I was seeing Stanley Cup accessories as the Stanley Cup bag and accessories and the decorations and all of those things, and I'll see some of these ladies at my office trying to get into them. But then at the office, almost every one of us has this small vacuum cups or bottles where we keep our cold or hot drinks inside. Throughout the day, if you need a cold or a hot drink, it is just available for you. And basically I think that is what the Stanley Cup does, and everybody was trying to get into it, like they want to take videos and pictures with them, and then I was just laid back. Sometimes most people will get into trends and I'm always late with trends, and then my friends will be like, why are you not you're not so trendy, you're always behind. But it's not about the trends for me, it's about what I need at the moment. If I don't need a Stanley Cup at that moment, I'm not going to get it. If I don't need a certain item that is going viral at that moment, I am not going to get it, because I'll usually see a 10 to 15 step skincare routine and I'm like, okay, no, this is not for me. But then I also see some girlies who are really striving to get at least these 10 skincare steps done so they can just post it online, forgetting that not everything works for each and every one, and you're just going to stress yourself to be in a space where you're not supposed to be. So I'm going to ask a question that comes off more as a suggestion. How about you create your own aesthetic? Do you realize that how aesthetics come about is when people share what they love online? It's like somebody's own style or creation, they put it online and then other people like it, and then it blows up and goes viral. And that has nothing to do with the fact that the person is sharing it so that everybody has to follow because it is pretty or nice or sophisticated. But then are we thinking about the fact that these are things that people actually love. So you have to create your own trend. You never know, if you put it out there, people are going to like it. If you're not one to put things out there, you live in your own aesthetic. You love how you decorate your room. You love how you decorate your bag. Some people don't even decorate their bags. If you love decorating your notebooks, you love how you do them, and you do them in your own style. I have seen the girlies do this pinkish decorations, and it's so pretty, but I love more of vintage stuff and vintage style. And if you see how some other girlies or other people are journaling, you see how different aesthetics can be. Just live in what you love. Another example is, some years ago I realized that pastel colors were going viral. For what reason? Colors have always existed and people had their own colors, but all of a sudden, because pastel colors were going viral in a certain way that people's aesthetics were making it look very, very pretty, everybody suddenly liked pastel colors, and I couldn't like my neutral colors in peace. Now, this is not how we should live. It just stresses your mind over thinking that, okay, everybody is dressing in this way, I think I should. I love long skirts, and every young girl my age dresses differently, and sometimes I get comments like, you look like an old woman, you look like in your 30s when you're in your early 20s, and I can't just bring myself to liking that kind of style. That long skirts and blazers and just corporate outfits are just sophisticated to me, and I just want to stick with that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think aesthetic is usually about how you view something and how you choose to present it to the world. So you learn all the skills with your available gear, and then you produce videos, but then you produce them in how it looks pretty or beautiful or aesthetic to you, not what the aesthetics of what is going on or cinematic aesthetics that is being presented to the world is. You present your own cinematic aesthetic. When I started my YouTube journey, I kept changing my aesthetics. Like, I tried to speak in certain ways because it looked cool, and then I'll change them, be like, okay, I think this person is getting more views by speaking this way, and so I'll try to fit in, and then I was just not myself. And in the long run, all those videos I filmed, I deleted everything. It didn't feel like myself. It didn't feel very authentic. I didn't like them until I got into myself and be like, okay, I'm just going to speak how I'm going to speak. I'm going to put whatever I want to put out there. I'm not going to go the extra mile to do things that I cannot do, or to provide information that I don't know much about. And I believe that my people will find me, and that is how easily I am able to continue producing my videos day in, day out. And these days I'm trying to produce at least 3 times or twice a week, and that is quite a lot of work because I still have to study, write my script, and I try to do these things according to the titles that I really like. You know how YouTube tells you the trends that are in line, and then how you can actually get trends, your videos to be pushed by those trends. I don't just write down each and every trend. What I do is I go through those trends that YouTube provides, and I pick the one that I can easily speak on them, that I'm comfortable with, that I'm interested in. To the part where I really want to speak louder on is to step out of your head. Usually we are overthinking. We are thinking, okay, what if this person thinks that I behave like I'm old? What if this person thinks that I'm not cool? You don't have to be cool for anybody. You have to be comfortable. You have to be beautiful in yourself. You have to feel powerful for yourself. You don't have to produce a certain aesthetic for anybody. Anytime I see people living their own aesthetics, I am so happy and grateful they have the courage to do that. Your ideas will never come to life if you don't make them. They can be scary, I'm not going to lie. This can be the boldest step you've ever taken, and it can be the best. Your creative ideas will just sit there if you don't try to fail creating them. Shocker, even your unforeseen success can be a hindrance. It might be too overwhelming for you to even start the process. You need to step out of your head, think out of the box, and live out of the box. Please share in the comments what trends you think we should end right now, and the things that you're doing to live your own trend. I'd love to hear it and might help others as well. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.